Harrisburg Stampede. Justin Coble with
I gotta change the freaking.
Oh, there it is.
Basically, they were
It's
playing
Major
League with the real game. Yeah.
Oh shit! There's the Hattie.
All right, and we're back. So starting this second half off here. Last night, the Arena Football League played Arena Bowl XXXIII at the American Dreams Mall in New Jersey. I cannot confirm nor deny if Tiffany was the halftime show. Dooch.
Wow.
It was an interesting visual, to say the least.
Yeah, looking at the pictures now, and wow, that's all I can really say is like that is interesting to see. I mean, you really have to be. I mean, if kick goes awry, good lord, you know.
I feel like this is one of those things. How do I want to word it? I think it could be a cool visual on TV.
It almost looks like a winter classic, like where it would have the nostalgia of just being, hey, let's just throw something somewhere that it really shouldn't be.
Right, and it gets people talking about it. But with all the issues, I mean, not just over the course of the life of the Arena Football League, but all the issues it's had this season in this third relaunch, it just adds to the low rent feel of the Arena Football League now.
Well, unless they're trying to do this as a publicity thing for them to just say, hey, let's try to get as many people in. Sorry, people, my dog is going ballistic here, pulling on my
No, we
cords.
can't hear her.
Well, no, she's pulling my cord. My head's like tilting with her.
Oh.
Unless they're looking to do to get it out more, almost like a traveling thing. Like, hey, check out what Arena Football is. Come to the games. Maybe that's something they're looking at doing. I don't know. That's just a thought.
I mean, the mall is legitimately big enough that they were able to play this on where the ice rink is in the mall, and the visual is cool. And look, everyone listening knows I'm a wrestling fan, and the first episode of WCW Monday Nitro was done at the Mall of America, and that was a cool visual. The Mall of America was a hell of a lot more packed for Nitro than the American Dreams Mall was for Arena Bowl XXXIII.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just the look of it is pretty interesting.
It is interesting. Nothing like seeing a guy getting his head smashed into turf on an ice rink, and then a Babies R Us ad in the background. Nothing says free advertising like that.
A missed field goal goes into Victoria's Secrets, I guess.
Well, they have a net.
Yeah, they have a net, but a ball almost hit us.
Well, they don't have nets around the entire. It's just they have a net on.
My point.
At the end of each end zone.
My point. Somebody kicks a field goal or a kickoff that goes a little bit off course.
I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting visual. And now here's the thing: they were not even sure. Going back to the strife and issues that the Arena Football League has had this season in their relaunch, they weren't even sure come game day they were still going to be able to play in the mall because the league has debt to the mall. The mall has helped fund the season, and they wanted that money back before they hosted the Arena Bowl. So it was like a last minute scramble just to get confirmation that the game was going to be played or not. They were looking for backup options.
I didn't know that. Wow. That's interesting.
The league was a shit show. I believe some teams folded over the course of the season. Ownership forced out the president of the league, the new president of the league. Um, it's quite interesting what happened over the course of there'll be books written about this season at some point.
Was this like small potatoes?
No, because that league actually had a chance to succeed. Let's not get into that.
Well, looking at I'm actually on the Arena Football League their wiki here. The Albany Empire, founded in 17, joined in 18. I mean, some of these are still, I mean, what looks like franchises active at the time of the 2019 bankruptcy. So it looks like the longest standing one was the Columbus Destroyers. If they're even still around anymore, because who knows how old this page is.
It was a rough relaunch for sure for the Arena Football League.
I'm just trying to see like if there's anything that shows like, hey, it's 2018. Well, at the time the AFL filed for bankruptcy, it operated on a $20 million budget.
Yeah. It was, again, I mean, you could go down that wormhole and read the entire Wikipedia page for the.
Yeah, I'm just on the Arena Football League Wikipedia page, and there's so much like with the teams.
So over the course of just this season, the following teams folded: the Georgia Force, the Iowa Rampage, the Louisiana Voodoo, the Minnesota Myth, the Oregon Black Bears, the Philly Soul, the Rapid City Marshals, and the West Texas Desert Hawks.
Jeez. Am I on
all
the wrong
of those
Wikipedia
teams
page here?
folded.
Am I on the wrong
The
Wikipedia
Soul
on
made
this?
it through 3 games. I'm on the 2024 season. Hold on, I'll send it to
okay.
you.
No, I got it. I clicked on it. I was on the Arena Football overall. Jeez. I mean, imagine playing 2 games and just folding.
Now the Soul did 3.
Yeah, I mean, 2 games. Suspended operations 2 games into the season. That's what I'm reading on the Soul.
Oh, well, that table that I was looking at had 3.
Oh.
Maybe they made it to the 3rd week and folded, I guess. I don't know.
Either way, it's not a good sign.
Right.
No matter how you look at it, you play 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, it's not a good sign that
one, you don't have, and a lot of these teams were league owned. They weren't even like, it wasn't like Bon Jovi and
the Soul.
Oh, who else was part owner of the Soul there? Ron Jaworski. It's not like they were owning this team. It was league owned.
Yeah, the owners were the league for the Soul. I'm looking at the Soul's page and it says owners Arena Football League.
Truth be told, I think in relaunching a league or trying to launch a league, you shouldn't carry 16 teams. You should start 6 or 8, I think, is more than enough to start a new league, maybe for any sport.
Yeah, and see how you do the first couple of seasons and see if it actually gains traction.
Or you end up getting bought by The Rock and he makes two leagues into 1 league.
Or that.
You smell what I'm cooking.
Really? I just smell coffee right now.
Oh God, sorry, couldn't help it. But again, and here's the thing: they didn't have a TV deal until the playoffs. So the only games people could watch on regular TV were playoff games.
And that's not going to help a season at all.
Especially when you're on CBS Sportsnet and not like FS1 or ESPN The Ocho or
Yeah, CBS Sports Net. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Sure, why
The
not?
Canadian Football League plays on there.
Yeah, but that's Canadian.
Hey, um,
You're just full of puns.
nah, I'm full of it today. That's for sure.
It's only 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it is only 8 o'clock. But I don't know. It's kind of it's twofold with this. Very cool visual, but it's a sign of where the Arena Football League is and not where it was.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, unless they're just trying this as a publicity thing to be like, hey, check this out.
Well, people have to be able to find it to check it out.
Yeah, true.
I'm not hating on the Arena Football League. Me and you were both very big supporters of the Arena Football League during its height. Um
It's just one of those
the
things to where with this, I feel it needs to be broadcasted more to get that visual to be like, hey, they're playing in a mall. Okay. I mean, if let's say, for example, this is Arena Football's like the NHL's Winter Classic. They just pick a random mall to go play at.
Right, but this is the Arena Bowl. It is the biggest game of the season. It is who determines your league champion for the year. Like,
But you would think that you would want it broadcasted. You would think you'd want it out there and not just, hey, look what I found on Twitter or X, whatever it is now. I mean,
I agree wholeheartedly, and that's why I said this is not the Arena Football League that we bought the games for, and we would watch the games for on weekends. Like, this is not that
we still got
league.
to do that, by the way.
I know we do. I know we do. Shout out to Trexton Spot in Tower City, Pennsylvania, for hooking us up with the games.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I said the concept's cool. The concept's there, but I feel it's not executed to get your name out. And I would feel you'd want to get your name out there just to get more showing, get more viewers, get more people to go.
I think here's my take on it. I think the Arena Football League needs to they need an overhaul of who's in charge first off. They need, dare I say, and just hear me out. I get the guy, he's old now. He may not be as sharp as he was, but maybe get Jim Foster back, the guy who created the league. Bring him back into the fold. Help him, get him to help steer the ship, because this is the guy who grew the league himself. Without big contracts for television. I mean, they'd get a game or two on ESPN a season for a while. He grew it to where it was in the 2000s. Maybe bring him back into the fold. Maybe you need to get the guy who started the thing back involved. Not saying he needs to be the president, not saying he needs to be,
just use him
an
as
owner.
A consultant.
Yes, get him in a consulting role. Get that experience and the work he put into it. There's value in that knowledge. And I think we forget that sometimes.
I mean, think about it. You get him in, and all of a sudden, everything starts to turn a little bit. Everything starts to tweak where it's like, okay, maybe we should try this. And all of a sudden, everything starts building. Everything starts to go in the right direction.
I mean, if you get the right people involved, it obviously can grow and can become something meaningful again.
Absolutely. I mean, hell, how many times have we watched on ESPN when it was on there?
There was a time it was on ESPN and ABC.
Yeah. Yeah, and we used to watch it every time it was on.
Yeah. Again, we bought the video games back in the day. Yeah. And I bought them again years later, and you bought them again many, many years later. They were fun games, though, because it had that Madden feel, but it had that pick up
different
and
look.
play field that is
It was
good
a
for
different
everyone.
look. It was a different look, which what's made it what it was. It wasn't the same old, same old. It was just that different feel, that different look.
Yeah.
And that's what made it fun to play. It wasn't the same old, throw a large pass for, players you knew or teams you know. No, this was all,
It was it was all out the window unless you really paid attention to the Arena Football League.
and nobody really did.
And I mean, I think the second one also had the AF2 teams in it too, so you could play as like the Scranton Wilkes-Barre something. I forget what they were called now.
I gotta go see if they have that game.
They have weird hours sometimes, so it's hard to know when they're open and when they're not.
True.
But I think, as long as they keep they need to get a better foundation as far as people involved, people behind the scenes. There's time and room for growth if they stay where they're at now. I think you can grow from this, and people are talking about it. It's on social media. It's going viral, and sometimes that's all you can hope for, just to get something out there that people are seeing it and talking about it. I mean, we're talking about it. Not that we're viral or anything, but I mean, it caught my eye and I'm like, oh, this would be a fun topic.
No,
we'll see.
Yes. Well, I was going to say having a game at the right now you could, because it's no more, at the Harrisburg Mall.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a bit
would it
flattened.
be wide enough?
Now it is.
Oh yeah. They closed yeah, anyway. I guess Second and Charles is still open though.
Is it?
That's what I heard.
Speaking of Rock, isn't Bass Pro still open too?
Bass Pro is going to stay open and stay where it's at. DXL closed, which ticks me off to no end because I like their shirts. But I think Second and Charles is staying open. I think from what I heard, they're just going to add like some retail, like some it'd be like
They're making a strip
Commons.
Mall.
Yeah.
They're making like a strip
and there's
mall.
going to be like office buildings and apartments there and all kinds of stuff.
Yay, fun times.
A lot of good memories there. But anyway, I'm good on this one.
I'm good too. And that'd be the end of the second.
Well, let's get in some quick plugs here before we call this an episode. Give a shout out to the 2216 podcast, which our buddy Dave hosts, along with his friends Greg and Jake. They are small town rural firefighters, and they just share their time being first responders. If that interests you, you can find them wherever you find your podcasts. The other ship is the Pop Culture Podcast with the Pro Wrestling Lean. You can also find that wherever you get your podcasts. I'm supposed to be getting an ad for them to fit into the show. I know they recorded it. I don't know if they have it available for me or not. So if you're listening to this and you've already heard an ad for them in the show, it's because I got it after we recorded this. So you're going to get 2 plugs for the other ship if that is such the case.
2 for the price of 1.
But as always, you can find our information in the Linktree link in every episode description. That'll take you to our social media accounts, our TeePublic store. We're here, there, everywhere, man. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. My name's Jason.
I'm David.
And we'll talk with you next time.
Good morning.